Hi, Martin here. Today I want to show you how to replace your front fenders on your 99 through 04 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now this will also be similar for other years of Jeep Grand Cherokees as well. Now I found this fender here down at the local Pic-a-Part some time ago. Paid a little over $50 some for it. It's perfect match. The paint is a brilliant black pearl, which is kind of rare when it comes to the Jeep Grand Cherokees. So I was really excited when I found this, and I got a couple small dents in mine. This was from the previous owner, and I've been looking for this for years. Still on the hunt for a hood, because I got a couple minor dents in the front of the hood. We'll get to that another day. All right, well, let's get started. Here are those two dents in the fender right there. I mean, they are rather small, and maybe one of those dent doctor people that remove dents could have taken that out, but I can guarantee you the paint would still be broke and you'd still see it. One of the first things I'm going to do is just go ahead and raise this up a little bit and pull off that front tire. I'm putting the jack on the transmission cross member. I would recommend chalking the back tire. You may want to set the parking brake as well. Go ahead and raise the hood. There's several bolts we need to get to in here, and we're also going to remove the headlight assembly. Ooh, shiny. You'll need a 7mm socket or nut driver like I'm using here. You can grasp these headlight assembly and you can pop them out of the little sockets there. There we go. Next we'll remove this inner liner right here. You're going to need some type of tool similar to that one right there. I'll put links in the description. These help to get these like Christmas tree type fasteners removed right there. On my particular model, I only got a few of them, and I replaced some of them with nuts and bolts, because when I was doing the wire tuck, I didn't want those Christmas tree fasteners poking up into the inner fender well and looking at that. And once you get those fasteners removed, take this inner fender liner out. And now we can get to a couple bolts right back in here and a couple back in here. After we remove the inner liner, there's two bolts right there. You just need to loosen those because the fender is slotted like that. Like that. And there are two 10mm bolts right here underneath the bottom side of the fender, right by the rocker panel. Remove those. And then up front here, you have three 10mm bolts to remove. One right there, there, and one right there. Now you'll have two 10mm bolts right here to remove. Now there's a third one right here. You're going to need a T30 Torx to get to that one, because you're going through the hinge, and if you didn't do that, you'd have to remove the two 10mm bolts that hold the hinge in place, and then you're going to need to prop your hood as well, because once you release that hood's going to want to fall. So if you don't have a T30 and you got to remove those two bolts, make sure you prop that hood. And right here you can see the bolt through that hole of the hinge. And like I was saying, T30 Torx. And this fender is slotted there, so you only need to loosen that bolt. Alright, I believe we got all the hardware removed. I'd start back here, taking the fender off, and you're going to pull it backwards a little bit. I just remember there's one more fastener right up in here. Okay, back up here underneath the fender again, up front by the headlight. Yeah, there's this fastener right there. And it's got two like locking tabs on it. And it is hung on to the front header panel. Okay, there we go. I got it released. All right, now that I got that other fastener released, pull it back. There we go. Here, I just wanted to show you what things look like with the fender off. Now, mine's a little bit different. Like, you're going to see a wiring harness come through here because I did that wire tuck. And I've also got wires running right through here, and the wiper hose is running through here. This was a wire tuck I did earlier where I got rid of all the wiring going across the engine compartment right here on this side. And here's that clip I was showing you, the one that I missed before in the header panel. So there's a little locking tab here on the bottom and on the top that you're pinching. And what I used were these hose pliers, because I can get up in here and pinch that just like that, and then pull on the fender a little bit just past those locking points, and then I was able to pull the fender off. Now, if you're replacing the fender on the right side, so you got this antenna cable you got to deal with. Now, I just happen to be doing a wire tuck on my vehicle, and that's why this fender is off of here. Now you can see right here, there's the cruise control servo, which of course is located underneath the battery tray normally. I've put it here. I've got all the wires that run up to the front up here, running through this channel right here, coming out this way. So that's why I had to remove this fender. Now I'm ready to install it. Right here's the hole where you're going to pass the cable through that goes into the cab of the vehicle. And then you're going to find where you can unplug it there, underneath this kick plate that needs to be removed as well. I'll just show you that here in a second. And right here you can see with it reinstalled, the antenna wire going through into the cab, and then it's got that little grommet right there. Now, with the kick plate removed, right there is the antenna connection that you're going to unfasten. And this is the kick plate you'll need to remove. There's 3 Phillips screws that hold it in place. Now, there is one other fastener right there, and that is a Torx. And then when you're installing it back in, all you do is simply push it back on. And there's this trim piece right here. This just snaps into place with these fasteners right here. Now, these 2 fenders are actually a little bit different. This one is the new fender that came off an 04 Overland. This is my original fender. As you noticed here, I've got those ribs that run down the side of the vehicle where the Overland does not. So what we need to do is swap these 2 halves here. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to take, but there are 2 screws right up here. We'll remove those, and hopefully it's an easy thing to do. Now, here on the back side of the fender, we got these 2 locking clips right there. What you do is you take a pair of like needle nose or a small pair of channel locks, and you're going to give them a squeeze. There it goes. And then right there. And then the only other thing is there's a little bit of adhesive on the back side of this. You just gotta carefully pull that off of there. There we go. I wouldn't use like a pulling motion because you may stress the plastic and put like cracks into it. I would, once you get a hold of it, kind of gently twist it off, and it'll tear that adhesive right there off of there. Got me a little piece of double-sided tape. There we go. Replace the 2 screws. There we go. Now let's reinstall it. Now the one trick when reinstalling it, you see this little white clip right here? Well, that clips onto or slides in between the bumper cover and this fender. There's a slot in the bumper cover, so you want to make sure you catch that as you're putting it on. And then that clip that I forgot earlier, make sure you're getting that hole lined up properly. So as you put this on, you're going to bring it in here like this. Okay, right there I could see that I missed it. There we go. And then making sure you're catching that one hole for the that clip on the header panel. There we go. Now all I got to do is refasten the hardware and then line up the fender with, because you got some play here on that fender with these holes. So as you put the bolts in, don't tighten them all down right away. You're gonna have to bring the hood down and see, make sure that everything lines up properly, and maybe make some adjustments. And then you'll do the same right here. Like right now, that's in way too far. So you're gonna pull that out, line it up properly, and then snug up those 2 bolts that are in here. Now, I don't know if you can really see that, but that gap is huge. So this fender really needs to come in quite a bit right here on the top. I got it lined up really well along the between the fender and the door. But yeah, this gap is way too big. Alright, once we got the fender lined up properly, yeah, that's looking real good. Nice tight line. That looks sweet. It is amazing just getting rid of those 2 dents in the fender. This vehicle looks so much better. Man, I'm happy I found that fender and got it on here. I mean, it just looks great now. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, I sure appreciate the thumbs up. That helps out the channel immensely. I'm also an Amazon affiliate. If you please check out the links in the description down below, where you can do all your Amazon shopping through one of those links, and that helps out the channel financially. Yeah, that's what I meant. Alright, and if you never subscribed to me before, please hit that subscribe button right down there and a little bell symbol right next to it, and that way you get notified the next time I upload a video. I want to thank you again for watching, and we will see you on the next one.